Hi everybody, this is David Marsh with Emini tradingstrategies.com. Today is October 25th, 2010. Hope everybody had a great weekend. As you recall, the last few weeks have been really good with the Tick Trader Futures Trading course. We've been getting a lot of one and done trades. Pretty much the last 3 weeks we've had just a couple days with some losers. Today we had 6 trades. I had 6 trades. We started off with a loser, and well, that's what trading is. You know, those one and done days are great. You get in, you get out, you're in and out in 5 minutes, you make your money and you walk away. It's all gravy, right? No, there's going to be days you're going to take losing trades, and this is one of them. That's why I post these videos. That's why I put these trades up here, because you got to understand that we're going to have losing trades. As day traders, we accept it. As investors, we accept it. We're going to have losing trades in the market. And I can never emphasize that enough. And even more so, the discipline to follow the rules. Let the winners take care of themselves. You take care of you when you're in a losing position. Keep yourself in check. Follow the rules, and you can come out ahead. So let me go over my trades today. Okay, trade number one. Let's back up just a little bit and see. We were in no zone pre-market. So I don't put a lot of emphasis on this because it was a couple hours before the opening bell. But in any event, technically the first trade after no zone is a big winner. It wasn't, but this is still pre-market. And it wasn't until after the bell we got this short normal system entry. So this was a loser. We got short. We lost 8 ticks. And I say many times on my videos that 8 ticks is my maximum stop loss on a normal system entry. On average, we lose about 6 ticks on a normal system entry trade that loses. You can lose 8 ticks, and in this trade we did. We lost 8 ticks. So we're down 8 ticks. We tried for the pullback trade, which would have been a great winner. I wasn't filled. Some of my students were filled. I was not, and that would have been a great trade. Definitely made its profit. I didn't get it, and our long-term chart had just gone along somewhere around here, so it was definitely the trade to make. But we're right around that 1190 level, and when you start getting near these 10s, like 1190s or 1150s, especially so close to 1200, we expected a lot of sideways action, a lot of choppy movement. When you get towards these levels, it almost always happens. So anyways, let's move on. So that was trade one. Trade two would have been here had I been filled. That was for some of my students. I never got it. So notice also we're in no zone, and as I said, first normal system entry at a no zone. Normally a nice winner. This was a loser again. Okay, so here's our second trade of the day, also our second loser, and this is a high probability trade. So this is where an undisciplined trader can get off track. Say, well, these high probability trades aren't winning. We can't win 100% of the time. Okay. Also, we had a report coming out at 10 o'clock, so we lost 4 ticks on this trade. We did reverse into the long. Okay, and then we grabbed 4 more ticks off that, got right out of it because we're just a few minutes away from the report. So I didn't want to try to get more, even though I could have. Too close to the report, I had to get out, so I was really even. All I wanted to do at this point was trying to get it on this, but I didn't. So I just wanted to recover what I lost on this trade, and just get flat and wait for the report to come out. So the report obviously came out. You can see from that spike here. Didn't touch any of this as I was waiting for it. I always give it about a minute after a report to come out, and then I grabbed this short normal system entry. Now earlier, and again, I say this a lot on videos, I'm not a support resistance trader, but you've got to pay attention to these bigger levels, like 1190. That's a big level to the market right now. It's, you know, can it hold 1190 and get above 12 or get to 12? Okay, that's the question a lot of traders are asking themselves. So I have to keep that in mind. I really don't care where the market is. I really don't care where the market trades when I'm trading. Of course, I do in life, as I want to see the economy grow again. But as far as the market for trading, I don't really care where it trades. It's just a number. I get in, I get out, try to make my profit and go. But anyways, knowing that 1190 was now support after it had been resistance, I jumped in here at 91.25 short and jumped out at 90. I just wanted to grab 5 ticks off that. Would have liked to have grabbed more, but I figured we would see a bounce right at 1190, and sure enough, it down ticked one time and then bounced right back up again. So good thing we stopped right with the 5 ticks right there. Okay, now we start seeing some choppy action. Here's a EET, you notice, but that was after the report. This chart over here to my left, this is a faster tick chart that I trade my early entry techniques on. Okay, as I've said in other videos, I simply keep the NSC on as a reference point because there's normally, typically, one EET per NSC cycle, but not always. Okay, so that was trade 4. I was trying to get on the EET here. Never got filled. Would have been a nice trade. So had a couple trades today that I was not filled on. So, hey, that happens. So finally, you can see all the sideways action. And sure enough, right around that 1190 level, is it going to break? And I'm thinking it was going to break down. Again, I'm not a support guy, resistance trader, but 1200, that's going to be a milestone for this market. We've seen an incredible rally. The dollar is tanking. I personally believe that's going short long term, but in any event, my next trade was a short EET trade. And I want to point something out that I've had a lot of questions on in the past. Let me get rid of this little box here, this little circle I made. These blue lines here are not entry levels. Okay, so a lot of guys say, well, wait a minute, how could you have gotten filled short on this EET when price didn't touch those lines? Well, this is not my fill price. Okay, my max stop loss, I have 2 parameters to enter an EET. One, it's got to be within 6 ticks of the stop loss, which is right here. Okay, that's your stop loss on an EET. And I have one other parameter condition that's taught, of course, in my trading course. Okay, so I jumped in here at 90 1/4. What these lines are just showing you your fill bars. This is your signal bar from Pro Indicator version 2. If you're a NinjaTrader user, you can use our software that shows all the trades for you. Or if you don't, I teach you everything you need to know anyways. In any event, these are our fill bars, these 2 bars, not the entry levels. Okay, so I jumped in here. And we're in a very tight range. Again, there's that 1190 level. I figured if it broke through 1190, it was going to start dropping. I got my stop in place, only risking 4 ticks on a trade. So it took a little bit of time. It was about a 15-minute trade, and it finally broke down. I grabbed 6 ticks on a trade there. Could have stayed in for a whole lot more, but I just wanted to get the 6 ticks, get myself back into the positive here, try to make one more decent trade and get out of here. So we then had a long-term, and by the way, the reason I'm on this chart is because we've been in no zone on this chart over here. Okay, so I'm simply trading off of this chart. So our long-term indicator had gone short, so I cannot take the long EET, and good thing I didn't, because it would have been a loser. So here's a stop loss for the long trade, but our long-term filter kept us from taking that trade. So we then had next EET here. Jumped in right here, grabbed 5 ticks on that, and finished up just a little bit after 10:30 in the morning. So had 6 trades. It was about an hour long day, hour and 10-minute long day. Sometimes it happens. We take losing trades, guys. It's all about having the discipline to recover from your losers and then going out and make a profit. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.